Okay, guys, I'm trying that again. I don't know what happened there, but my sound wasn't on, but I do believe it's on now. So hopefully that's good. You guys can let me know as you come in. I'm just going to wait it out a little bit. Had some folks coming in, and then for whatever reason, I couldn't get the sound going, so I had to restart the stream. So hopefully this is going to get out there to everybody. They're going to actually see it. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened there, but I had to restart the stream. Man alive. I normally, as you know, don't come out and do live streams, but this is phenomenal. And guys, this is exactly what it felt like back at that time when Judy and I were watching this market take off. And I'm just gonna, show some of the charts here. We're gonna take a look at some of these charts. Truly phenomenal. Guys, just check this out right here. I mean, we are watching Bitcoin at what? Holy moly. Let me just take a look here. Yeah, there we go. We should be good. I should just close this window off here. Hopefully that's all good. All right, now we're getting into the right window. Okay, we're watching Bitcoin right here at $80,737. I mean, it is taking off. Just look at these candles. Truly phenomenal. But guys, not only is it Bitcoin, just check some of this out right here. Look at Cardano. I mean, my gosh, 62.09. It went as high as 65.99 up there. And literally what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days ago, we were down at 31 cents. I'm telling you guys, this is exactly what we saw when Judy and I were in this space last time. It was truly, absolutely something amazing. And when this space really does start to tick off, remember I told you guys that we were sitting along and it was just kind of tinkering, just like that. And then all of a sudden, one day, bam, it just shot off like absolute crazy. Guys, this is what I'm talking about. You are literally watching some of these candles and some of these assets. And if we were to go back over there to Binance, let me just see if I can't refresh this just to see the different change in that. And you're going to see some of these assets, the double digits are truly phenomenal. And let me just cut that over here so we can get that in there. I'm just going to move this, transition this back over. Okay, so what I want you to focus on is right over in this area right in here. Guys, look at some of these 60.9%, 42, 42, 42, 41, 32, 20, multiple double digits as this space is literally going ballistic. And I want you to know, guys, I was here to see it last time when it happened like that. And I'll tell you what, it was truly phenomenal. I mean, we are literally seeing this thing just going crazy. And this is where I talk to people all the time. And by the way, I will say this. I know a number of people have reached out to me about coaching. I've thrown that back in there. Guys, I will at least do those commitments of what I've already committed to. But if I see this thing literally taking off, man, I am going to have to pull back. Why? Well, obviously, I mean, we have to look after our own backyard. And that's what it is. Because you want to be paying attention because this stuff can literally blow off in just spades. Bang, just like that. Truly phenomenal. Let's give some shout outs to people in here. Got William Lynch in here, Grant, Sweeterin, Darren Collins, CJ Smith, Edward. Edward, you know what? I'm not even going to try because I would say Franz Solowski. Now, I don't know if I got that right or not, man, but Mike Mosley, Miss Erica's in there. And yeah, by the way, we will have a sugar on Sunday. I am going to do one, but I wanted to get out, just talk about this space, because I want to give that more attention, obviously, on Sunday. That is way more important in my estimation on Sunday. But I thought, guys, we could get out and just have a little bit of a chat and throw your questions up in here. If you want to get some questions out that, we didn't do a question and answer yesterday, but, you're going to ask, one of the big questions, I suppose, is going to be, why are we seeing such a market blow off like what we're watching here in this market? And guys, I truly do believe it's because of the sentiment that is around this space with what's coming out right now with this administration that's going to be, taking office January 20th of 2025. And what we're seeing is the positive bang movement from a very friendly crypto, administration that's going to be coming in. And a lot of people can see, hey, a lot of these cases, this regulation by enforcement, it is over with. It is going to be over with. Guys, we're going to get the regulatory clarity like we've seen with MiCA in the EU and, of course, United Arab Emirates and all around the wide world, the UK, everything like that. Guys, we're going to get regulation and clarity for this space. And, of course, the market is just kind of putting that in there, and it is going to be wild. I do believe we could see $100,000 to $150,000 Bitcoin. Now, having said that, we are seeing some big pumps in the altcoins for sure. But guys, I'll tell you what, it is nothing in comparison to when this thing literally goes crazy. And when you watch right now, Bitcoin is holding that massive dominance, of course, right now. And, you know, when you're thinking about that, when that rolls over and you kind of see Bitcoin, you know, start to turn, what happens is a lot of people will cash out their Bitcoin positions and throw that into these big time high cap, you know, and some of the low cap, mid caps as well, but certainly the high cap altcoins. And what happens? They go nuts. Last time, I literally sat there and I was on Binance because, of course, being a Canadian and living in Canada at the time, I could, you know, be on the Binance exchange. And what I saw is I saw some of these assets literally go up 1,000% in one day. Yep, 1,000%. With Cardano, when we were into Cardano back at that time, we saw some 10,000% from the bottom to the top. We were picking it up at 3 and 4 cents. That thing went to over $3, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of $3.10. Phenomenal. Just a $4,000 investment translates into what? $300,000? Guys, that right there changes lives when you consider how long it actually takes someone to save that, and not just one asset. We saw that with VeChain. We saw that with so many. Wow. Truly phenomenal. Enviro Solar Films. We had your coaching session. Highly recommend. Hey, thank you for that. I really appreciate that. That's a valuable shout out. Ross has a question here. What would be wiser to use, iTrust Capital or Roth or trade? Well, I mean, that's all about risk tolerance, isn't it? I mean, the nice thing about a Roth IRA is there's no capital gains in there. Now, of course, when we're trading, yeah, you got the long and the short-term capital gains, but what if the gains are so phenomenal, you know, that you don't care? I throw it out this way. Look, if I said this to one person one day, and I'm telling you, I had to laugh at the response. And, you know, I said to the person, I said, listen, if I gave you $1 million, but only one caveat, you had to give me 400,000 back, would you take the money? And they're sitting there thinking, I'm like, come on, it's a no-brainer. You just got 600 grand dumped into your lap, that kind of thing. Guys, for me, I'm thinking what we're expecting to see is going to be so big, in my estimation, you're not going to really care about it. I don't mind having some of these tax bills if I can have the gains and the income that goes with it. Now, of course, you can apply some amazing strategies with tax avoidance. Now, you see, tax avoidance is not tax evasion, is it? Because when you get into like an IRA, 401k, all that kind of stuff, you're prolonging the tax. In some cases, Roth IRA, hey, tax avoidance is completely legal. The Supreme Court has even encouraged folks to do it. Well, guys, there are strategies out there that you can actually employ to save yourself big time when it comes to tax. Absolutely right there. All right. Yeah, we are doing it. Inspector Music says, hey, David, we're doing it. Lucas Bacardi, thanks a lot for your good vibes you share with us. Blessings from La Cumbre, Cordoba, Argentina. Wow. Hey, Argentina. Fantastic. Fantastic. So Ross, yeah, you have to, if you're talking about a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA, well, with a Roth IRA, if you're going to be holding these long-term, a Roth IRA has no capital gains associated with it. So it really depends. Now, I would suggest that you sit down and you talk with the guys that are working with you on your IRAs, get all the pros and cons before you finally make a decision. But, you know, when you're thinking about the capital gain side of it, and if it's a long-term kind of deal, Why would you want to put yourself in a position where you would see any tax on that? Because with a Roth IRA, there is no tax on those capital gains. At least that's how I understand it. Not an expert there. I would suggest doing a lot of research before you come to a decision. Absolutely, for sure. Don't just take my word for it or anybody else's for that matter. The answers we find for ourselves are the ones we trust the most, I genuinely believe. Now, guys, I'm telling you, have we ever? I mean, that is phenomenal. I got to cut back to that. I know I cut away from it, but I just got to cut back. This is Cardano. Now, guys, let's go back over there and check out and just keep looking at the. Let me just sort this here, and we're going to do it this way. Okay, and we're going to get back looking over there to BTC because this is truly something absolutely phenomenal. I mean, guys, when you are looking at candles like this is truly wild. 81,000. Wow. Bitcoin at $81,069. Truly, truly amazing. We are literally watching a breakout big time. We are in price discovery, guys. This is absolutely phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. Don't discount it. It is truly wild. Well, hey, Christopher, man, thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate that. That was a great, great blessing. I'll tell you what. Guys, how many people sat around in our family, in our friends, on and on and on? I know my son has told me he had some friends of his that he works with. You know, he's a roofer and that kind of thing. And so all these guys are like, oh, yeah, what about your crypto? Oh, you're down so much. Well, guys, when it turns around and we're up like this, it's, you know what they create? Oh, well, you're just, you know, you got all that money now and you're so proud. It's just such a ridiculous thing. But I'll tell you what, how many people have literally turned around and told us, hey, look, we're not going to see this happen. I mean, it is truly wild to watch. And yet, boom, here we are up there now, $81,000 for Bitcoin. Truly, truly phenomenal. And I'm believing, guys, we are going to see some major stuff out of XRP. Do you think in this new administration that this whole case that has been literally regulation by enforcement 101 by the SEC over Ripple, do you think that's going to survive? I don't, guys. In fact, I have it on good authority that, you know, the Donald Trump himself, and along with others, they know all about this XRP ecosystem, guys, in big ways. And now I'm getting that from sources I can't divulge, but I have it on good authority that they are more than aware in a big, big way. And guys, I'm telling you, I genuinely believe we are going to watch it. Like I say, it just tinkered along like that until bam, did it ever fire off. And think about this too. When XRP shot off last time, it was the last one to move. The last one to move as Bitcoin was going, as they were all going, last one to move. Outbeat every single one of them by market cap, by percentage increase. It was truly phenomenal. You can look back at the chart in 2018 and you guess who was king of the hill at the whole thing? XRP. It outdid Bitcoin for market cap. It outdid Ethereum for market cap. And as for percentage gains, come on, how many times have we said it? Where you could have put in $6,000 at January 4th of 2017 and watch that go to $3.84, being worth $3.84 million on January 4th, 2018. Guys, I think we could see an explosion in XRP like most people have not even imagined. That is my personal opinion on it right there. I'll tell you what. Wow, wow, wow. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Coley Meta says, I held XRP since 2018. Now that is some diamond hands, I'll tell you there. Missed the last bull run. Ready for this one. Come on, 60,000%. Oh boy, do I ever hope you're right. And I believe that we are going to see stuff like that. Now, guys, there are some definite questions, of course, in this space that a lot of people are asking. And of course, it all centers around, hey, what could we see and what would the utility be? Guys, this is just speculative run right now. Can you imagine what is going to be in utility? Now, I want to throw some facts out there. You have got, you know, a lot of these, you know, when it comes to the custody provisions and things like that, custody alone is thinking that by 2027, 2028, we could see somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 some trillion dollars just in institutional custody. Now think about that. Right now we're at what, 2.5, 3 trillion, and you're talking about almost at 10x. Where do you think a lot of the lion's share of that's going to go? guys, it's going to go to these large cap and the ones that have these big time utility. Now, that's just custody, where institutions are custodying their assets in institutional grade platforms. And of course, we know Ripple is taking a big bite out of that space. When it comes to the exchange traded fund space, I was listening to a guy just recently on X, and this is a big time banker, forgetting his name right now. But you know what they were estimating by 2028 to see in the ETF market for crypto? Somewhere in the neighborhood of $30 trillion just in ETFs. I absolutely believe not only is XRP going to get an ETF, but it's going to be a part of baskets of ETFs in there. Guys, this is going to be big in my estimation. And we're going to see something that most of us have not, I mean, we have hardly even dreamed how level. Like, I'll tell you this much right now. When Judy and I were investing in this space, I remember walking around the neighborhood and stuff like that, and her and I would be talking and whatnot. And I remember thinking to myself, and her and I definitely discussed this. This really came out of her heart for sure. We're thinking, hey, we started off, oh, the big moves have happened so little. Felt the Holy Spirit say right in us, loaves and fishes. You know the story about how Jesus took the 2 small loaves and the 5 fish, multiplied that and fed 5,000. I'm telling you what, in God's hands, the little can become great. And we watched it happen, revolutionize our situation, changed our world dramatically, guys. I believe that's going to happen again, and probably for a lot more people than what it was before. Now, think about this too. When you think about all of these ETFs, why do ETFs, it's the long game. It's the long game. And think about it. For institutions that have fiduciary responsibility, that cannot directly invest into this space, pension plans and things like that, because of that, with exchange traded funds, guys, they can. Now, a lot of confusion comes out about ETFs, and let's talk about that right here. Mhm. A lot of people think that, well, why would Ripple want an XRP ETF? Because, of course, they fought so long for XRP to be deemed not a security. Guys, when it comes to exchange traded funds, that does not necessarily mean that the asset, the underlying asset for those ETFs, has to be a security. Think of gold. Gold ETFs, when gold ETFs came out, guys, they just outperformed like crazy, just really like crazy. And it was in the multiple years after the ETFs that they just went wild. Bitcoin was the biggest and most profitable, most successful exchange traded fund ever, ever released in history. And I think some of these other ones are going to be wild there right now. I'll tell you that. Let's take a look here. Best way to transfer from crypto to fiat. Well, this is something I throw out there a lot, because that is, Hawk Ta is asking this question. I think it's a great question. When Judy and I were in that last run, what ended up happening, and no, this is not any dispersion on any of these exchanges, but as the market was taken off and a lot more people were coming in, I'm going to tell you, all of these exchanges like Coinbase, like Kraken, and of course Uphold, which is a brokerage, but not like the brokerage that you think. But needless to say, their platforms would go down. Do you know why, guys? They couldn't handle the volume. They weren't doing anything nefarious, but the servers could not handle the volume. It was like a race to the trough. Well, back in 2020, I was sitting there watching Ben Armstrong on a podcast. That's BitBoy. And he had brought up and was talking about Caleb and Brown. Well, Caleb and Brown, I checked into them back in Canada. We signed up in 2020 because what I was thinking is, hey, we're not able to get on these and we have to wait till they fix the servers. And the market is not stopping to trade when that happens. So I love the ability to just pick up the phone where you could call and talk to a broker and to be able to transfer my assets over there. Talk to a broker, tell them what the sell price was. Well, boom, they did it. And think about this too. When you're going to Coinbase, Kraken, Uphold, well, your liquidity is that exchange, isn't it? Well, with a broker, they have a multiplicity of exchanges and private buyers and sellers. Yep, the fee is higher. It's higher than what an exchange can be for sure. But the thing is this, the exit and the liquidity. Now, what we would do is we would sell it. We would give them our ABA and routing numbers, and that money that would be right there into our bank account. And that's how we did it. Now, a lot of people will ask this question too. They'll say this. They'll say, "Well, what should I cash out into stable coins or should I cash out into USD and all this and this?" And guys, to me, it's not. It really, unless you're going to be in the, in the space. The biggest thing is this: stable coins. Most of these stable coins, almost all of these stable coins, and of course, are tied to the an underlying asset like the U.S. dollar. Most of them want to be tied to the U.S. dollar. If the US dollar depreciates in value, what happens to the stablecoin? Well, it goes down too. You see, it's not as if, well, it's an insulation of the US dollar going down because they're pegged to the dollar. And if they start to decouple, that actually means that the stablecoin is a little bit risky, right? If it decouples up or down, because it's supposed to be stable to the pegged asset. That's how it works. And so in that regard, if for way I kind of look at it is you want to actually know where do you want to employ those gains. Now, a lot of people have a lot of things they'll say, oh, well, I want more time with my family, more time with my friends. Do you know what I've learned in this? If we can prioritize our lives, a lot of that we could have right now. Now, sure, you could have a whole lot more. There are a lot of people out there. I remember when Judy and I literally we had two jobs. We'd have our job at work and then we'd have a job in the evening. Now, fortunately for us, we worked, both of us worked for the tax department. And then in the evening, we did this janitorial work that we ourselves contract. It was our side hustle. And so we were able to do that together. But there's a lot of people out there where you got mom and dad, and they're both having to carry two jobs, right? And there's not a lot of time together. And of course, that has impacts on a family. And obviously, if you see your financial situation improve, well, one of the first things you're going to have is more time with one another. And having said that, I will say this. We just did recently on Friday a video about our health and stuff like that with Ian Farrar with Purium. And guys, I'm going to tell you this. If you don't have your health, it ain't going to matter about your wealth. You think of Steve Jobs. There's that guy, 51 years old, multi-billionaire. Man taken out really, really young in life. I'm 56, 51, that's nothing. I know when you're 25, 26, 27, oh, well, 51 seems so far away. But when you get there, it's not as far away as you absolutely thought. And yep, it says, don't forget Uncle Sam, when you make some dough, he wants its cut. Yeah, he does. But like I said, there are techniques that you can employ to mitigate the amount of tax you actually end up paying. Lots of things like that. And there are some great tax planners out there that will have it there. Now, I don't know where Jason Hunter is coming up with that. Well, you know what, Curtis? Ask the question about it. Ask the question about the section of the Income Tax Act in Canada that because I think I know where you're going with this, but throw the question out there and then I'll tell you. Because I was in the enforcement division, worked for CRA in Canada for over 25 years. I held a bunch of from entry level officer to team leader and all that kind of stuff, and been around the block and very high senior level position and on and on and on and national projects. And I know a lot about, what goes on in the tax departments. And I think I know where you're going with this one here, but I want you to kind of throw it out there so you can be clear about what you're saying. Okay. Let's take a look. I'm just going to see. Greetings from Dubai. Well, I'll tell you what, Ajar. I loved it. Judy and I loved Dubai. And that is one place we are absolutely going to be going back to for sure out there in Dubai. Uh huh. Mm hmm. Well, Daniel is asking here, Daniel Escalante, is 50K XRP enough? Well, enough for what? Enough for what? I mean, what are you asking there? And of course, that comes down to risk tolerance. Now, I'll tell you what, one thing I would not be doing is if I'm out here on YouTube, especially on a live stream, I'm not going to be throwing out the amount of XRP I hold in my bags. I'll tell you that right now. Too many scammers out there. And by the way, let me say this, guys. If anybody contacts you during this live stream or after or whatever, even using my avatar or looks like me, and is asking you, hey, join this, do that. That is not me. I don't have Instagram. I don't have, all those, what do they call, a bunch of these social media platforms. I don't use them. Yes, I have an X account. Yes, I'm on YouTube. But I'll tell you one thing for sure. I'm never going to ever reach out to you before you reach out to me. If you want to reach out to me, you're interested in my coaching, it's coaching at thedigital.outlook.com. Let me just see if I can't get that on there. And let me just take a look here. I think it is right here. And I'll just cut that over here. Yeah, you want to reach me. This is where you reach me right here. Coaching at thedigitaloutlook.com. No other place. I'm not on any other. I will not reach out to you. I don't try to get out there and scam people and get all this kind of stuff. So be careful. Be very, very careful. Okay, JP Morgan said they now expect 30 trillion token. Yes, Ms. Sanchez, you're absolutely right. That is big, big, big. And the ETF market. So you think about that. You think that they are looking for 30 trillion by 2027, which we're only talking 3 years away. Where are we at right now? We're not even at 3 trillion. That is a 10x for the whole space. And where do you think the lion's share of that 30 trillion is going? Do you think it's going to all these meme coins and things? No, guys, it's not. It's going to go where the utility is, isn't it? And I do believe, hey, you're going to watch, Bitcoin be up there. That is for sure. That is for sure. Anything over 580,000 plus, if it is a 25% capital gains tax, the whole tax bracket. Okay, so the question now, the thing is this. In the United States, now I'm going to address it for the United States, there is short-term capital gains and long-term capital gains. So with short-term capital gains, if you hold it less than 1 year, I think, and depending on where you are in your tax, it can be up to 40%. Now, with long-term capital gains, you hold it for more than 1 year, is 20%. But you can mitigate this. You can absolutely mitigate this, when it comes to your tax, because there are certain tax plans and strategies that are absolutely 100% legal. But get this, guys, they're not published, but they're there. They're in the tax code. You can employ them. You can utilize them. You can develop a plan where you can actually save yourself hundreds of thousands in tax legally. You don't have to cheat the tax man. You just use the rules of the game. Play the rules of the game. Wayne, you're wrong there. Wayne is saying XRP has to no taxes. It's classified as secure a currency. Well, even if it is an investment. And whether you like it or not, now I've heard this whole argument and on and on and on. I'll tell you what, you go take that, Wayne, to the IRS, take it to CRA, take it to Her Majesty, the Inland Tax Department in the UK, take it to the tax department in Australia. You tell me what they have to say about it. Because I'll tell you what, they have the power to enforce the rules, whether you like it or not. And that is the golden rule of the world, isn't it? He who has the gold makes the rules. Boom, right there. So you can say this if you like, but I'll tell you right now, it is not going to fly. Not going to fly. So guys, be very cautious about this type of stuff right here. Because I'll tell you what, the last thing you want, believe you me, is to be sitting there and 2-3 years later, because they catch up to you, there's no time limit where they can do this, and you're sitting there all of a sudden, there's that knock at the door. And at that point, they're coming. And don't kid yourself, man. When you're talking tax evasion where you don't report it, that can be a big time deal right here in the good old US of A. That is for sure. Whether we like, no one likes taxes. Are you kidding me? This is why I say, you don't have to do the illegal route. You can develop tax strategies that will work in your favor. Do you think that is how big business does it, guys? That's how big business does it. Okay, Mr. P says you can go to Dubai and ask for citizenship and they're free. Yes, that's true. But remember this, if you maintain your U.S. citizenship and you're a U.S. citizen, you are required to file a return as a responsibility of citizenship on worldwide income, whether you live in the U.S. or not. Check into that. So I guess if you're ready to go there and give up your United States citizenship, well, then maybe. All that's important. Okay. Darren, there is no limit with Caleb and Brown. You can open up an account. Darren is asking, is 6,000 XRP enough to consider calling in Caleb and Brown? Well, I'll tell you what, you can open up an account with Caleb and Brown with zero. You don't have to put one penny, not one token of crypto in there to open up an account. And absolutely. Now, think about this. When you think of 6,000 XRP, that today it's what, a little over 4,000, 3,500 and some dollars. Well, what if 6,000 XRPs were 10 or 20 bucks a piece? Well, if it gets to $20, or it could go more, hey, some people are saying it could hit 100. Well, let's say XRP hit 100. Well, your 6,000 XRPs were 600,000 bucks, isn't it? Wow. Big difference then, isn't it? All right. You like the hat? Well, I'll tell you what, this hat came from Drive Designs. And, good friend of mine, up there in Canada, David and Della sent me a bunch of these different XRP hats, and I'm actually going to be reaching out those guys because I've had so much interest in these hats that I would like to be able to give them a link in the description where if people want them, they can just go there and order them and all that. So I'm going to try and figure that out there. All right, let's take a look here. Now, Wayne is saying, but I read the tax code on currency. XRP is also on an FX. I'm just telling you what I would recommend you do. Really, you want to get the nitty gritty for it. You go hire a tax planner who can really help you there because I'll tell you what, look, if we see these tremendous gains, do you want to be facing gross negligence penalties and on and on and on and all that they can pull on us and stuff like that? No, just get in there and establish strategies that are just going to mitigate and minimize the amount that you even have to pay. Why fool around with it? Just get in there and find out all that you need to know. Now, let's just take a look. I want to see if we can't. Let's see. Yeah, it is kicking off. Let me just take a look. Let's go back. Just see where we are right now because we got up over 81,000. I'm going to refresh my browser over here, bring this back in. Yeah, there's a little profit taking, but guys, still phenomenal, phenomenal. Let me just get into there and cut this over here. So as you can see, guys, we've come back down a little bit from the 81,069, and right now we're at 80,521. That is still so phenomenal. And of course, and by the way, do not be disillusioned if we see some retracing where, this comes back down. Let's say, because you got this God candle out here. Well, you might see some retracing where it goes back up and, then bounces back off again and even goes higher, goes over 100. That seems to be the case. I mean, you look at some of these other moves here, where we've seen these drop down. Well, it gets back up, drops down, comes all the way down here, up, down, up, down. It's just it's like bulls go up the stairs, right? Bears, what do? They go out the window, don't they? And that's something else to consider is this market, okay? This market goes up. When it goes up, it takes a long journey going up. When it comes down, bang, does it ever happen fast? And this is where you want to be very, very strategic about your plan and how you want to put it forward. So questions being asked. Ekbangjo's World, do you transfer XRP from a cold ledger wallet to Caleb Brown? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And if you do it, I would do it in the smallest little coffee cup amount. Like when I say that, I mean the amount of XRP that would cost you a coffee so that you get really, what you're doing. Because if you make a mistake, hey, remember, if you make a mistake transferring this stuff, you could lose it all. So you want to do the very small amount. Now, I'll throw this out there too. We literally train people. We don't just help them, do the transfers. We train them how to use these devices so that they know and they don't have to trust a third party that they don't have that really good, relationship with. They know how to use this thing and how to move it and all that kind of stuff and not make those mistakes. Number one, never do it when you're tired. Never do it when you're hungry. Never do it when you're frustrated. And do not ever do it in a panic. That is for sure, because you can make mistakes, guys. You don't want to make mistakes. Okay, let's see. All right. Would you rather deal with the IRS or CRA when it comes to crypto? Well, really, it's not a matter of Richard's asking that. It's not a matter of who I'd rather deal with. But the thing of it is, it's where you live, right? Now, because I'm living here in the United States, hey, I'm dealing with the Internal Revenue Service. If I was up there in Canada, well, I'd be dealing with Canada Revenue Agency and all that kind of stuff, right? It's the jurisdiction that you're living in. Now, because Judy had dual citizenship in Canada and the US, she filed returns in both. Now, I love this new American system. Why? Because the write-offs are amazing. And the fact that you can file married filing jointly and you can utilize your LLCs and the pass-throughs and all that. You don't have that opportunity in Canada. And get this, in Canada, that you know what the capital gains tax is? 67 point some at a point of 67%. That's when they start charging, it used to be you'd keep 50 and then the other 50 would be taxed. I'm telling you, the US system is far friendlier to taxation than the one up in Canada or any other socialist country for that matter. Hmm. Absolutely, for sure. All right, Rick Easton's asking, we suggest moving 100% of your cryptocurrency to Caleb and Brown. Well, this is how I kind of look at it. We have a multifaceted approach to custody, right? We utilize some with our broker. We have multiple hardware wallets. We have other, avenues for custody. And the reason for that is, hey, if one got compromised, which, the chances of that are so rare. But even if it did, it wouldn't, expose all of it. Now, the thing about that is this. With these hardware wallets, most all of them do not get hacked. What happens is they get compromised. They get compromised. And how do they get compromised? Well, phishing expeditions, right? Someone sends you an email and says, "Oh my goodness, your platform on Coinbase there is got and all this and that," or they'll send you something that says, "Well, Ledger's doing an update, and you had better, get this. You have to get on here and send us your seed phrase and all that." Don't believe any of that, guys, because those are ways. I know some very, very intelligent, well-meaning people that have been duped by that kind of nonsense, and it does happen all the time. We do talk about them. Yes, in our coaching we do talk about them, and I point you in the direction of where you can get the professional advice to actually follow through with those tax strategies, because a band Joe's World is, does your coaching include tax strategies? Well, I certainly talk about them, of different ones that you can employ, but it's more pointing you towards those professionals to actually go out and do it there. Dave's asking, can you make a video sometime on how to save on tax in the US? You know what I'd recommend? There are guys way more brilliant than I in this space that are doing this just right now. And one of them is Jake Claver. Now, I would recommend you go over to Jake Claver, Beyond Broke Mastermind, Dave. Check out his channel. He's got heaps of video out there for that. Now, I want to just acknowledge someone here. DRM. Wow, I want to say thank you for that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so very much, and that is just so awesome. And I didn't see that till just now, just popped up, and I just want to say thank you so very much. I want to get to your question here, so I'm trying to actually get to the question and see, because he's saying thanks for all you do. Extra, will it take institutional? I think that this suit is going to drop. I think it's going to drop under the new administration, and I think, when the suit drops, I think we're going to see a lot of dominoes, come into this place. Not just institutional adoption and all that, but of course regulatory clarity. This done away with all this regulation by enforcement and all that, and I do think that is going to have an impact on price. Zero doubt about that. That is for sure. I hope Christopher Jason McDonald saying, I think the dips are done for XRP. The only thing is he's straight up, is going straight up. Well, nothing goes straight up, but I have seen these things literally take off when they do. Like I say, just tinkering along, till one day, boom, just absolutely phenomenal. Julian, I'll tell you what, you can actually Google this. KPMG, Pete Marwick Thorne, they're great accountants up there, that in Canada, because he's asking, does anyone know good crypto tax service in Canada? And another thing is keeping track of your transactions. The one that a lot of people use that I've actually used myself is Coinly, Koinly.io, Coinly.io. The nice thing about it is it takes all your APIs and it connects you to all your exchanges. It extracts all that information, and it is such an amazing service. Now you have all the information to submit to your accountant who can help you in filing. All right. Well, I appreciate that, Ross. Says you and Crypto Dad are two of my favorite YouTubers. I remember Crypto Dad. Yeah, I appreciate that. Angel, appreciate that. Well, I mean, we've seen it happen. Atlantic Living is saying you're salt of the earth. Well, thing I like about salt is this. Salt, and I recently listened to a message. Judy had me listen to it, and it was truly phenomenal. When you think about that whole thing where it says, being salt, that we're called to be salt and light. Well, you know what salt does? Salt is a preservative and it helps to restore, helps to prevent things from rotting. You want to be like that. You want to get out there, be positive, be a positive influence. But one thing salt isn't, it's not sugar. We're not called in this life to be just sweet and just, to everybody in that sense and all this and that and just go with whatever. No, if you don't stand for something, hey, you usually fall for anything, right? And especially in our convictions in this digital asset space, I oftentimes tell people, look, I could sit with someone all day long. I could talk about them with them about my faith, what I believe, why I believe, on, but I can't give them my faith. It's the same thing. I can talk about my convictions in this digital asset space. I can't give folks the confidence that goes with it. That's where you getting out there, digging it, and get your hands dirty and get into this space. I'll tell you, it is truly something. And, you know, I want to be out there. Well, I used to say A all the time. A. Well, I've actually been corrected out of doing that, but I used to say it all the time. Let's just think here. Julian, thank you. Appreciate that so very much. Very, very much. Well, Jason, I agree. I do believe BRICS nations are already using XRP, and I do believe this is only the beginning. I absolutely believe we are most definitely going to see some big time stuff. Now, guys, let's just bounce over to the chart over here again, and let's just take a look at some of these other assets here because, I want to check out this one right here. Cardano. Now, you just look at that. Is that something else? And we're at 61.59, and literally just a few days back, we were at 32. That's practically almost a 100% return in 5 days. Bingo! Big time example of what I've been saying all these many months of how this stuff tinkers along. Let's go down the line and let's look at some of these other ones here. Oh, I know what I want to look at. I want to look at VeChain. Oh my goodness, I love VeChain. VeChain has a great use case in my estimation. And look at this. We're up 17.5% on the day. And you just look at that. I mean, VeChain was under 2 cents not that long ago. Here we are at 2.5 cents. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, actually 2.6. I watched VeChain when we were buying at 0.004, and in 1 year it was over 25 cents. It was phenomenal. Can you imagine putting in what, $3,000-$4,000, getting a million VeChain, and that 3 or 4 grand a year later being worth over 250,000 bucks? Guys, that's what's happened before. It is truly something else. Now let's take a look down here. Okay, XLM. Double digits. Look at that freaking candle on XLM. I mean, that is just amazing. And do I believe Stellar's a big, big one? Do I ever? Another one. Let's check out XRP. Okay, look at XRP right here, man. That is truly something. I mean, heck, let's go back here a little bit. We were at 38.23 cents in July, and here we are at 61 cents. In fact, today this thing went as high, 61.87, and we're at 61.48. And even here, look at this. Back in October, 48 cents. I mean, that is truly wild. Now, let me see if I can't. I'm going to see if I can get one of these tools. Oh, no, I'm not able to do it. I don't see where they are. So, oh, hold on. Maybe they're here. No, that's just the chart style. Oh, trading view. This is what I want. See if I can switch this over because I just want to measure this here and see if I can. Now that, okay, right here. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, I want to take it from here and up to here. Guys, right there's a 27% increase from October 25th and less than a month. And you're telling me all these people, oh, XRP doesn't do anything? That is phenomenal. Do you know how many years in the traditional market you would wait to see something like that? That is truly wild. Truly, truly wild. I'm telling you, that is amazing. Let's take a look at another one here. Let's look at HBAR. HBAR. Let's take a look at Hedera because I have a big bag of Hedera. I know a lot of you guys do too. Let's look at HBAR. Wow, HBAR's up 12%. Wow, 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 wow. Now, guys, I'm going to see here if we can't see, if we can go back here because I think HBAR, actually, you know what? What I might do is I might go over here and do it this way. Hopefully you can see this. Because what I want to see here, actually, I'm going to do it another way. I'm going to go to, guys, if you, I'm sure a lot of you use this one, but I'm going to go over here to CoinGecko. I really like CoinGecko, and we're going to type in H bar right here because I want to show you something truly wild. If we can see all this, okay. The all-time high for H bar, 56.92 cents. We are even right now down 90%. Guys, the room to grow in Hedera Hashgraph, truly, truly amazing. We could see some amazing growth in this one right here. Now, one other one I think a lot of us would be interested in looking at is this girl right over here. Right over here. Look at Velo, up 16%. Now, Velo is something I really, really like, but I want to show you something wild about Velo. Guys, check this out. The all-time high in Velo was $2.29. We're down 99.4%. The opportunities that exist in some of these other coins are truly phenomenal in terms of gains, because we get back to seeing some of these. It is truly amazing. I mean, just imagine even going from where we're at, which is 1.3 cents, 1.4 cents, to even 25 cents. That right there isn't a phenomenal gain should we see it. But of course, hey, you got to take a look at all these. There's lots of yeah. Well, hey, I'm appreciate you paying me $5 to say that, but I disagree with you there, 3. But thanks for the $5 shout out. I'll tell you that. But I'll tell you, I do believe. But that's what I focus and that's what I try to get people to take a look at is you just look at some of these numbers. And it is truly wild when you watch this space literally explode. Most people, they've never lived through a bull run. Most have really never lived through a bull run. Now, I'm just going to throw that up there. So it's, and where are we at? We're at 80,573. And that's something to be said right there, guys. Most people in this space, including a lot of these influencers, have never, ever lived through a genuine bull run. And, when you get people like this, saying, oh, well, hey, XRP is dead, it's effing dead, and all this kind of stuff. I highly doubt their lives were ever changed by a bull run, because anybody that's ever experienced that would not think like that. Why? We were there. I watched it. I watched buying XRP at 17 some cents and stuff like that. In fact, the lowest I ever bought XRP was about 12, 13 cents US, somewhere in there. Needless to say, watched it go to $1.97. Now you're telling me millionaires weren't made by that? Oh yeah, they were for sure. It had a huge impact for Judy and I when we saw those numbers. And guys, I'm telling you, every other time it has happened again. And so, when people don't have that belief, hey, among them be it. But like I say, for me, I am totally convinced. And we don't just hold XRP. We hold a lot of different ones. Yeah, I remember when Bitcoin was real low like that. I remember when my wife was telling me we should get into Bitcoin back there in 2010, 11, it was only 25 cents. Can you fathom? She's never going to let me live that one down. That's for sure. Wow. Hmm. Yeah, state of mind is, he's kind of out there. This guy has been, he gets onto our, turning point and he fuds it, fuds it, fuds it, fuds it, fuds it. Let him fud it. Let him fud it. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Guys, millionaires have been made. I have been made. It's just wild what has happened with XRP and what I think is going to happen in the future. So, I mean, I don't know why the guy wastes his time. Why would you waste your time in spending your day, especially a beautiful Saturday like today, on something that you don't believe in? What's the ulterior motive there? It's just to get attention, guys. Come on, it's just to get attention. He has a state of mind. I don't know what state of mind he's in, but I'll tell you what, it's not, obviously there's something going on there. I wouldn't waste my time. Would not even waste my time. But I'll tell you, it's truly a phenomenal to see some of this stuff happen. Oh, hold on. There we go. We're back up. We're back up. We're back up. Okay, tell me this. State of Mind says the only people that are billionaires are the ones on Ripple. Okay, how many billionaires has Ethereum made outside of the founders? How many billionaires had Bitcoin made outside the original or the massive bag holders that bought it are already billionaires when they started buying it? I mean, that is one of the most ridiculous arguments that I have ever heard. But I will tell you this, XRP has made multiple millionaires. Absolutely, for sure. And of course, so has Bitcoin. Nobody is against Bitcoin. Do you think that I would get on there? Oh, Bitcoin, blah, 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 blah. No, I don't. I love Bitcoin. I think any of these digital assets are truly phenomenal. A lot of them. Now, there's a bunch of, ones out there that are just rug pulls and memes and scams and all this and that. But when it comes to utility, there's no competition. We're in this thing together. This is the future of what the wild world is going to look like, And this guy, he's anyway. We've given him enough attention, haven't we? We've given him enough attention. The thing is this, guys, it is truly wild. What we're seeing and what I'm wanting to prepare y'all for is the fact that this right here of what we're seeing today shows you that this space of all the people, the naysaying that has gone on, how we're not going to see a bull run, and how many people have you talked to in your family and all that kind of stuff saying, oh, you're not going to see it, and on and on and on, and all this, it happened, and it's happening right before our very eyes. Look, I remember the day, can't you? There was a time when most people thought Bitcoin wouldn't even hit $100, and here we are over $80,000. Truly phenomenal, truly phenomenal. All right, so let's just take a look here. 150-yard 8-iron. Okay, hey, pretty good. He says, hi, Dave. Are you coming to Boston for XRP Unleashed? No, I'm not. Mikkel's going to be there. Connor's going to be there. I'm actually attending the one in Houston. I'm going to the one in Houston. Yep, and it is going to be something else, something else. And we've had some great talks with Maya and Chris. Judy and I know them personally. Just an amazing couple, and what a work of love they have done in doing this. And if you're out there and you want to really, be a part of the history of this space, I'm telling you guys, go down there and go to that XRP Unleashed premieres. It is going to be something else. Yep. Absolutely something else. Wayne, I agree with you there. XRP is in every major financial institution. In Japan, are they ever adopting it big time? Do you realize, guys, realize this too? Do you know that every bull run that XRP has massively moved and been a part of, it was only listed on one exchange in the United States when it happened. So for 2017 to 2018, it was on Poloniex, only exchange. For 2020 to 2021, as most of us know, it was only on Uphold. Guys, do you know what happened in both of those times? The movement came out of Japan and Korea. So whatever all these fuzzers have to say, I'm telling you, it literally exploded in price. And the fact that we can get it at 60 cents, truly phenomenal, 60 some cents. Absolutely amazing, because when it does take off, guys, it is going to go crazy. I genuinely believe it, and see numbers that most people haven't imagined, just like what we're watching here in Bitcoin. Truly phenomenal. And in 2018, as I say, XRP was the top performing asset bar none, and outdid Bitcoin and Ethereum totally for market cap. And just literally, it made millionaires, multiple one. Yep, truly amazing. And yeah, well, let's just take a look here. Yes, Korea is big time hot on XRP. Well, I'll tell you what, Dan. What an opportunity. What an opportunity. Do you realize how few people genuinely know about XRP in a big way? I mean, what? Out of all of the wallets, 70% of the wallets in XRP hold less than 1,000 XRP. So if you're beyond that, you're in a majority. And in the wide world, but boy, oh boy, are a lot more gonna know. It is truly going to be something. I don't know, Rob. It depends what you want to. Rob Burton's asking, 10,000 coins enough to retire on? Well, it depends. How do you want to retire? Do you want to retire? At what level do you want to retire? Where do you want to live? How do you want to live? On and on and on. That's only a question you can answer, Rob. But I always love hearing it. I'll tell you that right there. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I agree with that right there. Gucci official saying sneak peek, it's official. XRP will be one of the biggest platforms in the cryptocurrency space. Be prepared and also don't sell too early. Well, with respect to being prepared, I absolutely agree with that. When it comes to when you sell and when you don't sell, guys, only you can make that decision, obviously. Hmm. Yep, Dan, that's true. Very, very few have even 25,000 XRP. Look, if XRP hits some of these, if XRP hits some of these, targets that a lot of these TA guys, and I'm not a TA guy, but if it did, if it hit three figures, look, 10,000 XRP is enough to make someone a millionaire if it saw $100. I mean, that is truly phenomenal. Okay, this is a good question. Triple X is asking this. Your opinion. The market is led by Bitcoin in this digital asset space, and we would all have to agree with that. It's the granddaddy of them all. But is it price of XRP led by it or other? Well, I don't think it's led by that, but what happens or what has happened in prior runs is Bitcoin would top out. And as Bitcoin dominance started to roll, money would come out of Bitcoin. It would flow into the altcoins for a secondary pump that would blow percentage wise ROI. Every bull run that has ever happened, that has happened where the ROI in the altcoins has outdone the ROI in Bitcoin. Does not mean Bitcoin is a bad asset at all, but that is what we've seen. And right now, we have to be fair with everybody. Look, it is not utility that's driving it right now, it's sentiment. But guys, the sentiment is being bolstered by a major administration that's coming in that has a big time change in the direction and the focus of crypto and are going to be promoting it. This regulation by enforcement is over, and more than likely, we're going to get regulatory clarity. Is that going to affect the utilization? Absolutely, it is. And it's going to look, these exchange traded funds, the derivative market, on and on and on. Major impacts. I genuinely believe that. Genuinely believe that. Hmm. Well, I'll tell you what, that is true. He says the markets go up when people buy. If people buy, XRP goes up, but you're forgetting about one important piece right there: market makers. Market makers. Guys, don't think that the over the counter market has no impact, because it does big time. Because we have watched whale wallets gobble this stuff up in the tens of millions of dollars worth and yet not see big time significant movement in price. And the reason for that is over the counter trading, big one. And on top of that, it's not just over the counter trading. It is the fact that you got market makers out there. And when they're ready to let this thing rip, believe you me, is it going to go? And the thing is this too. When does most of retail guys get in? When do they get in? They get in at the top. They get in at the top, not like you and I that have been in this space really early. They get in way up here. Now think about this. For everybody selling XRP at 10 bucks, 50 bucks, $100, someone else has to be on the other side of that equation buying it. Think about that. So if somebody's selling at 10 bucks and someone else is buying at 10 bucks, what do you think's in the mind of the guy buying it? Well, he's probably thinking, hey, I hope it goes to 20, hope it goes to 30. Guy selling at 50 bucks. What's in the mind of the guy buying at 50 bucks? Well, I hope it goes to 100, hope it goes to 200. The guy selling at 100. What do you think's in the mind of the guy buying it at 100? Well, I hope it hits 300, 500. Boom, right there. No one is buying this stuff at $100, $50, or $10 thinking, oh, I hope it goes down half of what I put in so that I lose all the money. That's for sure. Right there. Absolutely. Mm. Yep. Totally, totally. Oh, I'm just reading some of the comments here. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think we're all getting tired of seeing, state of minds FUD and stuff like that. But you know what? The thing is this, guys. The way I kind of look at it is Among them be it. Look, among them be it. If it gets really disturbing, look, the thing I like about it is this. I oftentimes say this, attack the argument, not the person. Attack the argument, not the person. Because the reality is, if the argument doesn't look, a lot of these people that have poo pooed this digital asset space, I remember Larry Fink. Remember Larry Fink saying how Bitcoin was nothing but, just nobody, no one had interest, and you had, Warren Buffett calling it rat poison squared and all these. Now, where are they at? Guys are right under the covers with it, aren't they, in these ETFs? I mean, Bitcoin came out in '09, and in the white paper, I've read it. You should go read it. You know what? They were saying, oh, it's for the, an alternative to this current system. Well, now they're in bed with them so much, it's absolutely crazy. Mm-hmm. Anyone thinks that Bitcoin is truly decentralized, maybe as a network it could be, but in terms of control and who controls the amount, for sure, all of these are controlled by whales. All of them are controlled by whales. Same thing for XRP with Ripple, controlled by whales. That is a fact, Jack. Yep. Hey, Lord Naboni, he's saying, big hello from Croatia to all. Well, we're glad you're in here. Glad you're in here. Let's see here. Da, 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 da. Oh, well, Dan, thank you, man. I really, hey, each and every one of you, even state of mind. I'm so happy you guys are here and being a part of this. We're making history, guys. We are experiencing history. I kid you not. There's a day going to come where they're going to look back over this, and this is going to be probably one of the greatest wealth transfers in the history of mankind. It is. Now, we all have our teams, right? And that's one of the confusing things I think about when I think about the digital asset space is this whole team sport mentality. Oh, you got to be a Bitcoin maxi. Oh, you have to just be loyal to the XRP army. Oh, you got to, Cardano samurai and on a chain link marine and all this. Guys, there is so much opportunity that this space represents. And I believe collectively, like Brad Garlinghouse, we need to move this space up together. I had someone ask me, say, hey, why do you think Brad Garlinghouse is out there and saying that Ethereum should not be classified as security? Because it shouldn't. That's the bottom line. It is not a security. And this is kind of how I look at it. And I agree with Brad Garlinghouse on that. We have got to move this space forward together. And I'll tell you what, is it changing the way the world works? You had better believe it. Have we seen some big time technological changes in the past that represented such economic shifts that it made the fortunes of many? Absolutely. I mean, all you have to do is look at the computer. I mean, a small investment back in the late 70s, early 80s in little known companies like Microsoft would have revolutionized your lives. I remember when the home computer was nothing but a toy, a novelty. Then, of course, the internet came out. Most people did not have the vision for what the internet could be. Right here, you and I are experiencing what I grew up as science fiction. That you and I could sit here and we could do these live streams and things like that. That was science fiction, that you'd be able to visually talk to people from around the wide world. It happened, and just a few bucks into some of those little known companies would have revolutionized your lives. Of course, Bitcoin comes out in '09. Not that long ago. How many missed it because either they weren't aware or their bias was against it? And here, this distributed ledger technology space is going to swallow the internet whole, change world global finance with decentralized finance, decentralized identities, on and on and on. I'm telling you guys, this is where the future is going to be. They are going to write history books on this. I'm telling you what. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And it is, it's all this comparison. Like as we would say, it's, they're basically, it's the size of whatever, that they're trying to do. And guys, that's the thing. Don't measure your success against somebody else over here. That is not the measurement of success. And another thing too, when these people try to FUD you out, do not give up on your dreams just because someone else gave up on theirs. Right there. That's one thing for sure. Absolutely. Yes, I agree. You know, GMCM says this: if all these meme coins can have major gains over hype, then imagine the real utility potential of XRP, XDC, and XLM. Do I ever think that's going to go wild? I absolutely do when we see it, but sentiment alone will drive it. in the initial, that's for sure. I think we're not even going to have to wait till the court case, the to court to end, storyteller, because I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to literally see these cases being dismissed under the new administration. I absolutely believe that as well. Prince Edward Island, yes, thank you so much. That's awesome. Cheers from PEI Canada. Love your content. View every day. Similar in age to you. Now I have been to Charlottetown, PEI, and boy, I'll tell you, do I ever love Prince Edward Island. Remember when I was a kid, there was this song called Bud the Spud, because in Prince Edward Island, they grow potatoes, right? The song would go, Bud the Spud from the bright red mud, going down the highway, smiling with another big load of potatoes, and they come from Prince Edward Island. I don't know. I thought that just came into my mind. I don't know why I said, but that was back at that time. So love PEI for sure. Beautiful, beautiful. And by the way, guys, for all of those that love or fans of Anna Green Gables, she's a fictional character out there. But of course, that whole Anna Green Gables is right there in Prince Edward Island. There we go. Oh, I did not know that, but that is kind of neat to know. Kryptonite is saying it is little known fact the chocolate waterfall from the Willy Wonka movie was built by an Alaskan and is on display in a little known chocolate gift shop. That is truly wild. Isn't that something? I'd love to see it. Except I'm not eating chocolate anymore. Okay. Hi, David from the UK. Any idea of a crypto? Oh, I get this, Stuart. This is a really fabulous question. I get this question a lot. And, it is kind of unfortunate, but it's because of a lot of the legislative things that are happening in the UK right now with crypto. A lot of banks are preventing clients of their bank from actually dipping their toes in this space. They won't allow the transfers to go through, all that kind of stuff. It's just a really unfriendly environment right now. Not sure why, because it was friendly, very friendly to these digital assets not too long ago. If you already have a Caleb and Brown account in the UK, well, you can count your blessings because, yeah, a lot of folks aren't able to get it. And I don't yet know. Now, you can use Uphold, but they're not the same type of brokerage. Uphold is a broker, but they don't assign you a broker like a traditional one for crypto. So, unfortunately, Stuart, I do not yet know of any that are licensed to operate in the UK like that, which when you think about it is truly crazy that these governments will let people fly from the UK to Monte Carlo to Las Vegas. They could dump their entire life savings, mortgage their house, gamble it away. They don't give two hoots. But oh boy, we got to really watch how many people get into this space here. That's just so stupid. Okay. Yeah, Edward Navarro. What if trillions come into the market, disrupting the system, banking crisis, liquidity crisis, the whole thing gets blamed on Trump and crypto? Well, if trillions come into the market, you're not gonna really see these banking and liquidity crises, because the liquidity crisis is because there are no funds coming into the market. So I'm not sure what the thinking is there, but I don't believe that that's going to happen. Yeah, I agree. I think Gensler had his eyes on the Treasury Department. Dryside is saying Gensler is updating his resume as we speak. Yep. He had a big time plan and goal, I think, to get into the Treasury. He wanted to be Secretary of the Treasury. Well, I don't think it's going to be happen this administration. I think his political career is over right there. Uh, Yeah, institutions in Europe are also look at the IMF, look at the BIS, Augustin Carson. You just take a look at what Christine Lagarde has had to say with the European Central Bank and all that, and Christina Georgieva, who is the IMF, president of the IMF, which was held by Christine Lagarde, and they all recognize and acknowledge Ripple and XRP. Don't kid yourself. Yeah. KG, don't get greedy. Absolutely. And take profits. And don't get greedy and take profits and prepare better in the next bear market. Look, the deal is this space is measured in fear and greed, right? It's that whole, fear and greed index. And this is where I say it. Look, there's no good financial decisions based on fear. And greed, is it a motivator? Oh, yeah, it's a motivator, but they know every little string in the book to literally pull us right where they want us to go. And that's what you have to be mindful of. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, let me go up here. I don't want to. So Rashid is saying, "Hi David, I'm sipping coffee here in Morocco. Hopefully everyone will subscribe and they would know what they hold." Yeah, I believe that too, man. I'd love to go to Morocco. My son has been to Morocco, and actually really enjoyed it. Went on a camel ride up there, and a lot. You know how touristy stuff is, but he loved it. That's for sure. Yeah, I agree, Wayne. It is. Unfortunately, that is the truth. The innovation that we're seeing is the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. There's zero doubt about it. We're literally seeing the infrastructure for a beast system down the road. Now, do we know if it's going to be the first iteration, second, third, fourth? No, we don't. But certainly we're seeing us moving closer to that. There's no doubt about it. And universal basic income, as far as I'm concerned, that is a pathway to poverty. No doubt about it. New Zealand, Corey Anderson. I have a lot of amazing subscribers out there in New Zealand. Absolutely for sure. Well, yeah, Charles Hoskinson, if he shows up on Joe Rogan, I would definitely watch that. That would be great. Darren Collins is asking, any thoughts on Uphold's Vault service? Yeah, I'm gonna give some Uphold feedback right now. I have a client of mine that I have coached. And they got back to me, and what happened was they were paying for the Uphold Vault service, which apparently it's holding it on cold storage. Well, they started to try to take some of that off of there and put it on their own ledger, their own hardware wallet. Uphold stopped them and said, "Nope, we don't think this is safe for you, and we're not going to let you do it." I'm thinking, hold on a second, whose assets are they? Guys, it's the whole not your keys, not your crypto kind of deal. Anyway, that was his feedback about that. And by the way, you have to pay a fee for Uphold's Vault service. If you use a broker like Caleb and Brown, you get institutional grade cold storage custody and you don't pay a dime for it. So that's another big benefit of that. So Stuart, thank you, man. I appreciate you being here. He's taken off, but man, really enjoyed you being on here. Let's just take a look here. Let's just take a look here. Gear Vlak, greetings from Holland. Hey, that's fantastic. All right, let's just take a look here. I think people can resonate with this one. Shrapnel says, I'm greedy for XRP, not fiat. And of course, the biggest question we always get asked, when moon? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you an answer to that. When moon? When is this thing going to fly? Well, guys, you can't tag a date to it, but you can tag an environment to it. And we are starting to see it right now in a big way. And I'm just going to refresh my browser here, see where we're at. And I'm going to show you this because I think this is pretty telltale. And let me just get in here. Okay, go back here. Okay, I'm going to cut this over. Well, guys, we are still over 80,000 on Bitcoin. Now, I certainly believe that we are going to see some profit taking in here, but I think it's going to bounce from there. But the thing is this, you can tell the environment of when moon, can't you? When you start to see things heat up in the sentiment and drivers in this space, guys, then you know you're getting ready. It's just like when we look outside there and we're looking at the clouds. When is it going to rain? Well, I think it's going to happen a lot sooner than later because, hey, we got some rain clouds on the horizon. And that's kind of how I look at it. You want to know when moon? Look at the environment, test the air. That's what I would say right there. All right, let's just go here. Oh, someone had a fun fact. I like fun facts. DC, hi Dave. Fun fact I'm from the North Pole. Our population is 2,486. We all hold XRP. Hey, bonus. I have been very, very close to the North Pole. All the way up there in the Northwest Territories. When I was working for the government, I was up there throughout Yellowknife and beyond that. So I've been up there, and it is beautiful country. And I love the fact that in the summer there's no nighttime, and in the winter, there is no day. I think I would have a hard time in the winter, but in the summer, it's amazing. I'm wondering about that. Tomato Pete is asking. He says, David, will the SEC file their brief on the 15th, January 25th? I wonder because, of course, on the 20th is when Donald Trump takes office. And on top of that, of course, we're getting these rumors that in December Gary Gensler may resign. So they might come to a settlement or drop the whole kit and caboodle before it happens. Yeah, Bruce, I think we all do. We all do. We all look forward to getting those back. And we got Eddie from Omaha, Nebraska. Absolutely. I agree with that. Adrian Noriega is saying we are so blessed to buy XRP under $1. Absolutely. I think it is truly one of the biggest blessings that, we get to see is the potential to, see these kind of prices that we do today. Well, dry side, we might very well see that. Coins Kid, who I watch, by the way, has said Bitcoin might top around 82K. Now he is a TA guy, and he knows this TA more than what I would ever know it. But remember, it's still theory. TA is all theory. No one knows for certain, right? Yeah, I do. Tony's asking, do you think things will really take off when Trump is in the White House? I do. I absolutely do. I believe the regulatory clarity, the change in the administration's attitude towards this digital asset is going to have major, major impacts, to be sure. I absolutely believe that. Yeah, this is wild. XRP market cap is up 2 billion with almost 3 billion more in trading volume. Yep. Yeah. PWAC is saying, missed the first hour. Greetings from Liverpool. Well, hey, the Fab Four came from there, and it's a great spot. He says, I want apologies from most influencers who have disrespected XRP for years. So do I, but do you ever think we're going to get it? Not on your life. Most people are not willing to accept that, hey, they've been wrong, and I do think we're going to see that. I think when we see this when XRP takes off, I think we're going to see a 2017 kind of run into 2018 where XRP could very well unseat both Bitcoin and Ethereum for market cap, and I think it'll be massive, massive, massive. Yeah. Hey, Chocolate Tobler, man, alive. I didn't know, I didn't see on there earlier, but I just love Chocolate Tobler and I'm going to share something right here. We watched that bull run together. We were a part of a little Discord, a little group of Discord that we were in. There was only about 30, 35 people in it, and he was one of them. And guys, we literally watched it together, watch our fortunes being made at the same time, watching our digital assets just go absolutely insane. It was truly wild. One of my top, very first three subscribers and a close friend. And I really appreciate him being on here and being such a great support. Don't get to talk as much as what we did. And that's really on me because fabulous, fabulous guy. Whoa, this is good. He says, what do you think the price of XRP could be December 31st? Because this is a lot of people are throwing this out there. Now, guys, I try not to get into this whole price prediction thing because that's all it would be is a guess at best. But if we see some of the things that we see, I don't hesitate for a second thinking we could see some big double digit numbers out of XRP. Now, will it be by December 31st? Who knows? Wouldn't that be great if it is? But I do think we're going to see something happen here in an amazing way. Oh, I'm missing some. I'm trying to go through these comments slow so I can catch all these. Oh, okay, so let me just see here. Oh, we got Ray Howell. Greetings from South Africa. Thanks. Yay, we really appreciate you too, man. And Nick Laidman is saying, hello, good sir. The way this is unfolding, I'm thinking 20 bones at the end of January and 100 by September. Well, like I just said, I do think we could see some big numbers out of XRP. Will we get these numbers? Boy, do I hope so. Will we get them in this time frame? I want to believe it, that's for sure. But I do think we are going to see some really wild numbers come out of this, that is for sure. Yep, and I agree with that too. MV Crypto saying, not worried about the number one spot for XRP. In the market cap, what he wants is utility. And I think, guys, that's what we all want. When we get utility in this space, truly, I mean, true utility being utilized from everyday people, I think it's going to send it in ways that most people have not genuinely imagined. I agree that. Hey, thank you. I'm honored to be here with you, Chocolate Tobler. And just an amazing journey we had last time with a lot of great people in there. And I think we're going to see something wild as well. Now, Kim Lim, greetings, Dave, to you and Judy. We have finally come to the beginning of a new life for XRP. The withdrawal of Gary, absolutely, absolutely. It does represent new beginnings for sure. Yeah, FOMO. That's the it's that fear of missing out, GMCM. That is exactly why. He says, why when XRP starts rising do you get the feeling to buy more? Because that's what it is. It's that whole fear of missing out. And this is where, hey, look, we're human beings. We're going to feel emotions, aren't we? What we're doing, learning, going through coaching, and all this kind of stuff is how to discipline ourselves not to make decisions based on those feelings. That's the thing. It's not that when they say cut the emotion out of it, obviously you're not going to be able to do that. You're a human being. You're just disciplining yourself, like I say, to make decisions not based on the feelings. That's what it's all about. Hey, Northern Ireland. Wow, I'll tell you what, I hope to get there one day. My sons and daughters have been to Ireland. They went through a tour of the Guinness factory and all that. Loved it, loved it. In fact, one of my kids was living over in Europe for 6 months, gets to Ireland there, right? And he's broke as a joke. So he decides to pull out his guitar, went out there, started busking on the street. Wow, his guitar case filled up with a lot of coin, and some dough. Then a local pub owner heard him play and invited him to come and, host some stuff, play, some sets, at the pub on a Saturday night and paid him. So he went and did that. While he was there, he started, and some people asked, hey, would you actually play at our wedding? So this kid's going from being broke to making money hand over fist. And they actually came up and said, the authorities got a hold of him and said, it's time to you got to go. So he had to leave. And I think he went to Zagreb from there because he still had his visa. It was really kind of funny, but yeah, Ireland, beautiful people, amazing country to be sure. Well, yeah. Hey, we've actually, you know what? We have talked about that elephant in the room. Because PWAC is asking, we address the elephant in the room, taking profits and tax avoidance, not evasion, because that's illegal? Well, we've actually done that in this conversation. And what I would suggest is this: either replay it and you'll hear something. But the thing is this: you want to be with a competent and well-versed tax professional that will be able, because there are some really amazing strategic techniques that a person can employ to minimize and mitigate the tax that they would owe. Why go through this whole process of not reporting your tax gains and risk possible criminal, type of enforcement against you when you can literally use legal means to avoid tax? That's what I always get out there and encourage people to do. Let me just take a look here. Yep. Now, how long have we been on this stream? I actually don't. I guess an hour and 22 minutes. We haven't been at Mike saying, how is it possible that all other coins fly by and we're fighting 62 cents forever? We're not fighting 62 cents forever. I mean, just not that long ago. Let's just take a look at this, guys, because I wanna address this, because this is all kinds of sheer FUD that we get all the time. So let's just take a look at XRP and let the charts speak for themselves, because this is a big deal. All right, so let's just put this to rest right here. All right, here we are, guys. Right back here in August, 43 cents. Right now, we're at 59.46. Hey, there is profit taking even in Bitcoin. It was up at 81,000, but we're still 60.48 right here. And look at this, guys. Let's go back some more. There's 38 cents. Well, 38, I'll tell you to 60, that's a 30% rise right there. Let's keep going back and on and on and on. And you can see there's 30 cents back there in 2023 at the beginning of the year. There's 28.72. And what are you talking about being stuck at 62 cents? Yes, it has just kind of tinkered along, to be sure. But that's the way it's always been. It's just kind of tinkered along, tinkered along, tinkered along, tinkered along, till one day, bam, it just fires off like a rocket ship. It has left every other asset in the dust for sure by percentage gain and market cap. All right. Let's just take a look here. Mindy Bowman, yeah, I remember. Thanks for the coaching, Dave. My son Steve and I are now ready with our plan. That is fabulous, absolutely fabulous, and it is amazing to help so many people like that. Guys, my coaching, I'm going to tell you what, I advertise it at, like an hour. Oftentimes it's more than that. And I give as much as I possibly can. And then also some bonuses in there. And, there are people in this space, you can get out there, you can pay them $1,500 for 1 hour of their time. Yep. And you know what happens? You'll sit there for 45 minutes, talk. They'll give you 15 minutes of feedback. They'll look at their watch. Oh, time's up. Just like that. We have kept it as low as we can at $250 for that quality of coaching. And I've had people say, oh, you're just out there making money on coaching. Listen, are you kidding me? The way I kind of look at it is like this. Anybody that is out there now, there are some people that have built some big businesses and they've turned those businesses into millions of dollars. Do you think that, oh, well, now that their business is worth millions of dollars, they're going to turn around, offer all those services for free? No, why? Because they're employing people, right? Those people need jobs. Those people have families. Those people have this, that. Well, Judy and I'll tell you what, the number of people that get blessed because of what we're able to do in this space for folks to help them and on and on and on. Because one of the things maybe you don't know this about Judy and I, but we are big tithers and givers. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot more people benefiting in ways that you have no idea. It is truly something else. That's for sure. Yeah, Ada hodlers, man, they just really did amazing. Almost 40% up there. And I don't know what it is right now. Let's just take a quick peek and see where we're at with Ada right now. Go all the way back up here. Dun, 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 and I will post it for us here. Yeah, look at Cardano. Just check this out. Wow, wow, wow. This is truly wild. Look at that candle. I'm going to try and move my screen there. Maybe I can't. I can't seem to move it now, but it is way up there, guys. We're at 62.5 cents right now. That's a 42.75% gains. And like I say, guys, I was there to watch these things take off, bam, just like crazy. And when you least expect it, most people did not expect to see this out of Cardano. And even from back, when you were looking there, you saw some moves like over 100%. It is truly, truly wild. Well, guys, we have been on now for almost an hour and a half, and I'm going to wind it up, but I'll tell you, we have had just some amazing, amazing things, and I thought it would be great to get out here on a Sunday doing a live stream about the impacts of what we're watching in this space. To think that we're watching Bitcoin over $80,000. I mean, guys, just think a few months back and all the FUD. Nobody was thinking that was going to happen, did they? And that's why I'm always out there telling folks, get your plan in place. Because when it moves, it happens when you least expect it. And boy, does it ever happen fast. And having said that, guys, like I say, if you're interested in our coaching, now look, I am already booked practically to the end of November. I do have some spots last week of November there. But guys, you're interested in that, you write me right there at coaching@thedigital-outlook.com. That's where you reach me. But I'll tell you, when this whole space takes off like we're seeing and all that kind of stuff, I will not be even doing the coaching. Why? Because I'm going to be taking care of our own backyard. That's why. So if it interests you, it's something you want to think about, tell you what, you get in there and you get your booking now, because like I said, when it really takes off, there's no way, guys, I'm going to have time to do coaching and really focus on our own exit plan and strategies and things like that. That is for sure. But this has truly been amazing, guys. I really, really appreciate you and everybody that's been on the stream. Absolutely fabulous. And we got Mike in the Clown World from the UK, Desiree Wyant, Ian Badur, 88 price exploded on speculation. Yeah, just speculation. Can you imagine what utility is going to be? I think it's going to be phenomenal when you watch these things move. Yep, absolutely. Yep. Well, guys, I'll tell you what. Just love each and every one of you. Really, I want you to make it. I want you to genuinely make it big time. Just like Chocolate Tobler and I. And guys, Chocolate Tobler, he can attest right here in the comments. We were there together. It happened together. We watched this space moved, absolutely transforming our financial lives in a powerful way. It really did happen. He was there to see it happen. And it's been just amazing to watch this. And guys, I think we're going to see this over again. We're going to see another one of these genuinely take off. Guys, the live stream is going to be posted up there on YouTube so you can watch the whole thing. Truly exciting and amazing times. Until next time, guys, have an absolute fabulous one. And by the way, later on today, we will have our Sugar on Sunday. Don't miss it. It's going to be phenomenal. We get out there and share a bunch of encouragement right out of the Word of God. It's truly something else, really near and dear to my heart. And boy, I'll tell you, do we ever need it big time, big time, big time, big time. Yep, Dean, there's right there, Chocolate Tobler. It happened and it will again, only this time exponentially more. There is no feeling like it, but have an exit plan. He is 100% right. We all went through there. It has truly been amazing, amazing. And Brian, yep, I've got those rumors too that Gary Gensler could be retiring in December. Well, guys, I'll tell you, really enjoyed you. Love you so much. Can't wait for you and I to be standing right there in that winner's circle when we cross that finish line right there, guys. So take care, guys. See you later on with our Sugar on Sunday.